This is video 90, Empire Total War, United Provinces, played on hard. It's the, well, we're still trying to get to the summer of 1721. We're fighting our way through various battles where people have attacked us, and of course, I'm repeating myself, I know, but we haven't put the battles on any limitation. This is the second wave of the Wurttemburgers that are attacking our our walls, really, our city walls around Alsace-Lorraine. We've got a limited number of troops. He's got a lot of regulars. We're using, well, we've got a similar amount of troops as him, but we've got much poorer quality than him. We've got a couple of militia in there. We've got firelock armed citizenry, but I'm fairly confident that we can defend this with these kind of troops. In various other places like France, I'm still waiting for the firelock armed citizenry to build up, you know, the town watch, really, I suppose, so I can depend on them a little more and move out my regular troops. In here, I've had this for quite some time now, Alsace-Lorraine, so we're now dealing with the second wave, having fairly easily, I would have said, beaten off the first. We put our chevaux de frise there in the middle because he had some cavalry. Unfortunately, he lost quite a bit of his cavalry because some of my troops went over the wall and he charged them, so we were able to get back up the wall and shoot them down. So it's not a tactic I would recommend, by the way. It was simply a mistake. They shouldn't really have been chasing him down the wall. They've come up on the well, they've headed to their right, so they've hit our left side of the fort, and we've got our chaps on melee only there, taking on all four of these units. Just rush some others across, see if they can help us. Should be okay. We've still got some cavalry in there as well, by the way. They're going to be helpful for chasing down routers. I haven't used them yet at all. There are his cavalry off there, just in the front screen there. What on earth they're doing there, I really don't know. I have no idea. Obviously think for some reason they can get in. I can't see cavalry battering down a stone wall, to be honest, but there we go. I'm not going to use anybody to shoot at them over there. I'll just concentrate on what I'm doing elsewhere. Okay, we've got three units there, 4 units, sorry, all on melee attack. I've got regulars there as well. I'm watching them very closely this time. I don't want them to be going down that wall again. Mind you, at the moment I'm fairly safe because he's none of his units are... oh, there is that top one routing, but there are still others coming up, so we should be okay. It's very difficult to attack a fortress like this. It's not something I relish at all. I don't suppose any general does he really? Nobody wants to assault a fortress like this. Really, the only way I do it or feel confident about doing it is battering down the walls with artillery. Anything that comes near to the edge of where I'm battering down the walls, I'll blow them up as well, so infantry units all the way around. I just hit everything I can with my artillery. Without artillery, I just don't attempt it, really. I think I'd rather just auto-resolve it, you know, and it works it out for me. Usually I find that the computer's fairly favourable, actually, when you do an auto-resolve on an attack on a fortress, provided you've got the correct number of odds, of course. You know, it's not too bad about it, and it can do it with roughly the same sort of casualties as I would do it. Certainly the same sort of difference in men in terms of, you know, casualties inflicted on him and on me. You know, it might be slightly different. I mean, I would perhaps kill more men, so I might kill 900, you know, and he'll kill, say, 600, making a 300 difference, whereas on the AI it will be 500 against 200, so there's still roughly a 300 difference. It's just that when I do it, there tends to be more casualties. I think it's because I don't want people to get away, so I tend to chase them with cavalry or whatever. Anyway, they seem fairly well beaten on that side there. Now I've got some infantry over there that was spare, you know, with the others having been beaten, so I'll put them up on the wall there, so we're shooting them down. You can stand there all you like, pal, but I'm afraid you're just going to die if you do. Not even looking in the right direction. What's the matter with them? Cavalry are obviously looking for an opening somewhere, aren't they? I can't see where, because there's certainly no way they're going through there. Oh, they're just hoping that their infantry will manage to get up those ropes there and get over the gate. Do you know, when I first started watching these assaults or taking part in them, I wondered, you know, why they didn't just cut the ropes. But apparently it wasn't quite as simple as that. These were grappling hooks, and once they were over the walls, they were staked down at the other end, so they were tight against the walls. So you might think, well, why didn't they just cut the rope? Well, it's because it wasn't just rope, it was a rope with wire running through it, so it wouldn't just cut. I mean, I suppose you could have had all sorts of different cutting devices that would have cut them off, I really don't know, but anyway, it's not quite so simple. It's actually a very tight rope, and you know, so it's not just sort of slack, and once it's grappled onto the other end, you can't then lift it up because it is staked down, you know, in order to create the tension at the other end. Still wouldn't like to be doing it though, climbing those. Okay, here we are. Looks like everything's in retreat now, so we're just going to chase them off with our cavalry. Making sure we don't go through our own chevaux de frise, of course, because they will injure your own cavalry just as much as they will his. A sure way to protect your cavalry, that. Well, I don't know if he's got some infantry that might come back for a little bit, but generally I think that's the end of the battle. We haven't done too badly there. Right, this is just an infantry unit that seems to have come back. We're shooting down from the walls. There they are, not many of them. Running around looking for a gap. They've got absolutely no chance whatsoever. So we'll just shoot them down, lower the morale, or rather cause them to rout, and then we'll chase them off with with this cavalry that we've got here in the fortress. Would have been nice to have chased down all his routing infantry, but unfortunately he did have his own horse hanging around as well, so that would have put my own cavalry at risk, and there's no reason to do that really. We'll let him get away with a few infantry units, that's alright. Does look like he's going for the gateway, doesn't it? Which doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, really, here we go again, saying the same thing. It would be nice to have a limit on the game length. There's no way that should have gone on quite as long as that. So anyway, that's the end of the game. It looks like we might finally be approaching the summer of 1721. So we've got a bit of campaign action again. So those are the Wurttembergers going back. Well, they're not going back, actually. They're not going back to their own city. They're going back to one of their buildings and then just going out in the open. So I don't think I'll be chasing those up. Oh, we've got the socket bayonet, which is rather nice. One of my favourite weapons. Whenever they do that, by the way, these are normal recruiting, but whenever they do that, don't just let it research the next technology, whatever you do, or it'll get something that you don't want. It'll just automatically default to whatever's the next one. So it really is important that you choose the one that you want. Okay, this is the fleet that came over from Ceylon. There was no point in it hanging around there. There's no way it was going to be able to take on the large fleets that the Marathas have got over there. So I will be joining those up with the other fleet that's there in the Americas at some point, making them into a fairly decent force. Still fairly sort of old technology ships there, but at least there's a few of them standing together now. Right, there you go, you see it's giving me a cavalry formation there, which I don't want, that triangular cavalry formation, which I have little use for. The cadence marching, however, is much more useful.